Google turns 27. The quirky story behind the logo's green L. As Google celebrates its 27th birthday, we look back on a journey that began in a Stanford dorm room and evolved into a global phenomenon shaping how we access information. While the company is known for its constant innovation, from search algorithms to AI, one of its most enduring and charming stories is about its original, brightly colored logo. Specifically, why is the letter L green? The answer isn't found in a complex marketing strategy or a deep symbolic meaning. Instead, it's a testament to the playful, resourceful, and slightly rebellious spirit that characterized Google's early days. A logo born from necessity and spontaneity. When Google co-founders Sergey Brin and Larry Page created the first version of the logo in 1998, they weren't working with a team of professional designers or a massive budget. The task of designing the logo fell to Brin himself, who used the free image editor GIMP to create the now iconic wordmark. The now familiar sequence of colors, blue, red, yellow, blue, green, red, was a deliberate choice to project a sense of energy and creativity, breaking away from the more serious and monochrome logos of established tech companies at the time. But the specific placement of the green on the second L? That was a happy accident. According to the story, Brin and Page simply didn't have enough primary colors for all the letters. After applying blue, red, and yellow, they needed another color for the remaining letters. Rather than overthink it, they chose green for the L simply because it was a secondary color that fit well with the palette. It was a practical, spontaneous decision to complete the design. More than a mistake, a symbol of Google's culture. What could have been seen as a design limitation became a defining feature. This quirky color choice subtly communicated that Google was different. It was a company that valued function and creativity over rigid corporate rules. The asymmetrical, slightly offbeat pattern came to symbolize the company's think different approach. This original logo, now often referred to as the 1998 Google logo, served the company for just over a year before a more polished version was created by a professional designer. However, the core color scheme, with that distinctive green L, remained. The logo evolved through several iterations, becoming cleaner and more sophisticated, but it never lost the playful essence of that initial design. From dorm room to global icon, the story of the green L is a perfect microcosm of Google's origin story. It reminds us that the tech giant, now a cornerstone of the modern internet, started with ingenuity, a do-it-yourself attitude, and a willingness to break conventions. It's a detail that humanizes a global brand, linking the Google of today, with its advancements in AI and quantum computing, back to two students tinkering on a computer. So, the next time you see the Google logo, take a moment to appreciate that little green L. It's not just a letter. It's a nod to a moment of spontaneous creativity that helped define one of the most influential companies in the world. Happy 27th birthday, Google. More than a green L, the deeper design story behind Google's iconic logo. Google's 27th birthday is more than a milestone. It's a chance to reflect on the journey of a brand that has become synonymous with the internet itself. While the charming tale of the green L, a spontaneous choice by co-founder Sergey Brin, rightly captures attention, the full story of the Google logo is a richer narrative about deliberate design evolution, psychological savvy, and a brand learning to mature without losing its soul. The 1998 prototype, a symbol of DIY ethos. The first logo, created by Brin using the free software GIMP, was indeed a product of necessity. But its design was more thoughtful than it might appear. The use of primary colors, blue, red, yellow, was a bold, almost childlike statement in a tech world dominated by corporate grays and blues. By adding green, a secondary color, for the L, Brin introduced a rupture in the pattern. This wasn't just a solution to a lack of colors. It was an early, unconscious embodiment of Google's core philosophy, to not follow a predictable path. This initial logo also featured a sharp, serif typeface and a subtle exclamation mark, a clear nod to the exuberance of the late 1990s internet boom, and perhaps a playful challenge to Yahoo's own exclamation point. The Ruth Kedar era, professionalizing playfulness. Recognizing the need for a more polished identity, Brin and Page soon turned to Stanford University professor of art Ruth Kedar in 1999. Kedar's work was crucial in transitioning the logo from a DIY project to a globally recognized icon, while preserving its essential character. Kedar's key insight was to maintain the colorful, playful sequence, but to refine its presentation. She developed a series of logos, moving away from the serif font to a more modern, sans serif typeface. Her iterations experimented with shadows, dimensionality, and transparency, but the core color pattern, ending with that distinctive green L, remained a constant. Kedar's final design for the era, a clean, flat logo with a slight drop shadow, served Google for nearly a decade, 1999 to 2010. It struck the perfect balance, friendly enough to be approachable, but professional enough to be trustworthy. The psychological power of the palette. The color choice itself is a masterclass in nonverbal communication. Each color was selected for its specific psychological impact. Blue represents stability, reliability, and trust, essential for a service handling users' queries and data. Red evokes energy, excitement, and passion, reflecting the company's innovative drive. Yellow symbolizes optimism, happiness, and creativity, making the search experience feel positive. Green suggests growth, harmony, and a sense of being natural or balanced. The seemingly random order creates a rhythm that is engaging and memorable. The break in the pattern with the green L acts as a cognitive hook, making the logo stick in our minds more effectively than a perfectly symmetrical design would. 2010 to today, the march towards minimalism. As Google expanded into a vast multinational corporation, its logo needed to adapt to the digital age. The 2010 redesign introduced a much flatter, cleaner look, removing the drop shadow. This was a response to the rise of sleek, minimalist web design and the need for the logo to look sharp on high-resolution displays. The most significant change came in 2015 with the introduction of the Google Sans typeface, a custom, geometric sans serif font. This was more than an aesthetic update. It was a strategic move for a multi-platform world. The new logo was designed to be legible on the smallest smartphone screens and to animate seamlessly, most famously in the Google Dots loading animation, where the four colored circles morph into the logo. This evolution shows a brand maturing, from the playful, slightly chaotic energy of 1998 to the confident, universal simplicity of today. Yet, through every change, the sequence of blue, red, yellow, blue, green, red has been the unbreakable thread. Conclusion: a logo that grows with its users. The story of the Google logo is not just a history of graphic design. It is the story of Google itself. The green L is the charming seed from which the company grew, a symbol of its inventive, unorthodox beginnings. Each subsequent refinement mirrors Google's own journey, learning to scale, embracing new technologies, and striving for clarity and accessibility. It's a rare example of a brand that has managed to evolve its visual identity for over a quarter century without losing the core, human-centric playfulness that made it beloved in the first place. The logo reminds us that behind the algorithms and the global infrastructure, the mission remains the same: to make information accessible, and to do it with a touch of color and joy.